सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता। So we are seeing how virtue, the minister who is displaced from his position, is having the vairagyam, dispassion, based on seeing the limitations of dharma, the limitation of artha and kama. And he talked about the limitation of kama purushartha from 234 to 237. And now putra sangaja dukkha varnanam. Son or daughter, progeny stands for the security. People seek security from relationship. Even though relationship is primarily, from the spiritual angle, if we see, is meant for emotional growth. If a sadhaka is asked what is the purpose of relationship, emotional growth. Relationship helps me to grow. But because of not knowing the real purpose of relationship, person seeks security in relationship. And nowadays it is reducing, but in olden days, the children used to be the source of security or looked upon as the source of security. Children were looked upon as the source of fulfillment. Means in India, when a person is married, has children, then he is said to be a fulfilled person, settled person. A person is settled when he is married, he has a job, married and has children. That he is considered to be a complete man. So person used to seek security, fulfillment from children, progeny. And in olden days, people used to have value for the continuity of the lineage of the family, because they used to give so much importance to Shraddha. Shraddha means the rituals which is done in the memory of or for the benefit of the departed forefathers. And generally, the son will be continuing the lineage, because the daughter will be married to the other family. She will become part of the other family. And therefore, people used to have so much value for having a son, so that the lineage will continue, so that Shraddha karma will continue. My name will continue, because man's name will be generally continued by the son. Daughter will be taking the name of the other family. That type of thinking was there. And because of that, people had lot of value for progeny in general, son and daughter both. But for son, they had more value because of this feeling of continuity, perpetuation. See, through this body, I cannot perpetuate. It will die. But at least through name, I will continue. Through my son, I will continue, because in son, my one part is there, my genes are there. Therefore, there's what is called vicarious satisfaction of continuity people is to derive. Nowadays, in fact, many people they don't care all this. Their Shraddha is not relevant now. Shraddha is relevant, but they don't see the relevance. And therefore, this having son, having progeny, etc., that is not considered so important. But so we have to see that background. So when the description you see, we have to see, consider that classical thinking, classical setup of these people, and classical thinking of people. Then only this description will be valid. And here Virtue is telling that attachment to the children also is a dukkha karan. Attachment to the son or daughter is the cause for dukkha. How is it cause for dukkha? He gives a very, very graphical description. Little bit hyperbolic also it is, but it is graphic description. Like dukkha starts before conception. Dukkha because of the children starts before conception. How that also will be described. And till this child gets married, how all possibilities of dukkha he gives very elaborately. He gives. Okay, let us see. Putra Sangaja Dukkha Varnanam. The description of the dukkha born of attachment for the son or daughter. Here we need to note one point. Putra, son or daughter is not the cause for dukkha. The cause for dukkha is the sangha, the attachment. What is the attachment? I am seeking fulfillment through the son. That is called attachment. Attachment means looking upon someone or something to be the source of happiness. And that particular thing creates dukkha. See, in your life you must have seen who has made you cry. Not the people you don't care for. People you care for, people you think who love you or you love them, your beloved alone make you cry. The outside person, suppose he insults you, he doesn't make you cry. It may make you angry for some time. But afterwards you ignore that person. You forget also. But your beloved one, on whom you have invested so much emotionally, so much time you have invested, so much emotions you have invested, those people, when they say something, it hurts you. So priyaha tvam rodayishyati. So your dear and dear one alone will make you cry. And therefore, really speaking, dukkha is not there in the putra. Dukkha is there in putra because of my attachment. Like grass has got its own color, but because of my glasses, grass looks greener or otherwise. It doesn't have anything. Grass has its own color. So similarly, because of the glasses of attachment, putra, putri, or patni, pati, all they become source of dukkha. That is being said. So otherwise people say, Swamiji, in our Shastra we said that children are the blessings of or the gifts of God. No. That's how we are supposed to see. The children are the blessings. They are the gifts of God. How can you say that dukkha varnanam? Children are source of dukkha. So we are clarifying. Children are not source of dukkha. Your attachment to the children is the source of dukkha. And it is not only children, anything. Money is not source for dukkha. Your attachment to money is source for dukkha. Your spouse is not the source for dukkha, source of dukkha. Your attachment to the spouse is the source for dukkha, source of dukkha. That is to be kept in mind. Okay. Now, he connects with the previous one. Yatha bharya tatha putraha api dukkha hetu. He is in now that mode, seeing everything to be problem. So, he says, Yatha, just as wife, we stand for husband also. I have to keep saying this, because otherwise I will receive a message. Why Swamiji, wife only problem? Husband also problem. So just as spouse is the problem, is the dukkha hetu, the cause for misery. Similarly, putraha api, similarly, the son or even daughter is the cause for dukkha. How? First, before that he explains, one more note he makes. Anutpanna putrasya tadabhava prayukta dukkham ekameva. A person, Anutpanna putra Bauri, Anutpanna putra yasya purushasya. For a person who has not got the child, for that person, tadabhava prayukta, putra bhava prayukta, dukkham. The cause, the pain, sadness caused by the absence of the child, means I don't have a child, I don't have a child. That dukkham ekameva is only one type. Means I don't have a child. Why I am sad? I don't have a child. One type of dukkha. Whereas utpanna putrasya, to a person who has given birth to a child, dukkham tu nana prakaram. That dukkham is nana prakaram, of different types, different expression, manifestation will be there. How the child comes and it brings the dukkha because of my attachment. That is going to be said, shown. Tathahi, the explanation is given. So how the issue, this child is called also issue in English. Issue becomes an issue. How? That is said here. Striha garbhadharana bhave dampatyoho ahoratram tadeka chintaya dukkham. So if a lady is not conceiving, then the couple will have this ahoratram, day and night, tadeka chintaya. With that worries alone dukkha. I know one couple, they used to so much, means nowadays they spend a lot of money also. What's the IVF or something is there? IVF, no? So for IVF, hundreds of thousands of rupees they have to spend, and still no guarantee. So much dukkham we are not getting. In India, one more problem is that you don't have children, you feel that our house is incomplete. One more issue they have is people will ask. I think foreign countries that might be a little less. People don't bother so much, but here in India, they say you don't have a child, they make you feel bad about it. Acha, when are you giving good news? Like that they say. You do this. India, one good thing, the good thing or bad thing, whatever you call it, everybody is very generous in giving advice. You must have seen people really, even if you don't ask, they give you all advice. I was also one of them. But one person told me, one person from abroad. So from that I little bit learned. I was also following that. Said, why are you not by hearting 50 chapter? That person said, it is something of that. It is my business. So mind your business. So I understood. We are very good. So they make you feel bad, and afterward they give advice. So this is a good way of doing it. A good way, or I don't know. So they must make you feel bad about not having children, and then you are ready to receive advice. Then they give advice. There is another problem. And in fact, they have got so much, that in India nowadays it is reduced. But in those days, if a lady who is married and doesn't have child, people would not like to see her face in the morning. But so she feels very bad about it. Man is exempted from that. But lady, they really make her suffer. As if she is only responsible. Many times man is responsible, medically. But they see lady really, they will feel bad. They'll make her feel bad. They say we should not see her face in the morning. So all this dukkham. I am just elaborating further. Deva vashat garbhadharane sate vinaduritam prasava vishayini chinta. Deva vashat garbhadharane. By chance, by providence, by luck, when there is a conception, then prasava vishayini chinta. There is a worries about the delivery, that everything should go without vinaduritam, without any papam, means papa phalam, without any problem. There should be like very smooth delivery. And in fact, there are mantras for that you chant this mantra, so there is smooth delivery will happen. So chinta, worries will be there. Jayamanasya patyasya stritva putratva vishayini chinta. In India, there is one more thing. Nowadays, it's very much reduced. There is a chinta, worries about the gender of the child. Jayamanasya apatyasya stritva putratva vishayini chinta. The worries about the gender, masculine gender or female gender of the child which is going to be born. In fact, they have got earlier they used to do. Now it is banned, but still done. Sex detection. They will have some machine. What they call it? Sonography or something. So they do it, and that they will come to know. So much worries about that. They want a male child. That's so particular. That also chinta. All these are wrong thinking. Whatever prarabdha is there, every child who comes has some prarabdha to exhaust with the parents. Parents have some prarabdha to exhaust with the child. So it is really Bhagwan's way of settling the account. So we welcome it. Our attitude should be welcoming. But people have this particular preference. गर्भविच्छेद हेतोः आनन्त्यात् असम्पूर्णेषु मासेषु श्रावादि दोषं विना दशमे मासे सुख प्रसूति विषयिणी चिंता. Another worries is गर्भविच्छेद हेतोः आनन्त्यात्. There are so many causes for this miscarriage, and therefore asampurneshu masesu, before the gestation period is over. Asampurna means incomplete months, means before the 10 months are over. Asampurna mashesu sravadi dosham mina, without any miscarriage during those incomplete period. Dashame masi, in the 10th month, sukha prasuti vishayini chinta. The worries about this comfortable delivery. Prasuti samaye matuhu jivita vishayini chinta. When delivery is there, there is a risk. The worries about the life of the mother. In India, the mortality rate was very high. That many mothers used to die during the pregnancies. So that also worries were there. Now also there, but it will reduce now. Jatasya shishoho vina balarishthadikam jivana vishayini chinta. Jatasya shishoho, of the child which is born, balarishthadikam, without any infant mortality, jivana vishayini, life. The worries about the life of the child without this infant mortality of the child which is born. Means there will be concern that child may be die. That infant mortality was very high. So people used to be worried, child will be born, but child may be born dead. And therefore that worry is also there. Or sometimes even after being born, child dies. Jatoho shishoho navanapi grahanam anukulyasya loke dullabhataratvad vitranam grahanam vishayagatim vishamagatim shrutva dampatyoho ahoratram chinta. Another issue is that this will typically only religious and the believers family only. What is that? Jata shishoho navanam api grahanam anukulyasya loke dullabhataratvad. So when child is born, then they will show to the astrologer. An astrologer will say that out of 9 grahas, 6 are okay, 3 are not okay. So because he said navanam api grahana, all 9 grahas cannot be favorable for anybody. Loke dullabhataratva. In the world, it is very difficult to have the favor of all 9 planets. And therefore what? Vitranam vishamagatim. There will be unfavorability of the 2 or 3 planets. And therefore what? Having heard that my child doesn't have good Mangala, or he doesn't have good Shani, something he hears, and the Shrutva Dampatyoho Ahoratram Chinta, they will have all the time worries. So because of Shani, that something will happen, because of Rahu, something will happen. In India, most of the people have got some knowledge of astrology. Nowadays, they are not having. Otherwise, people will be having Rahu, Ketu. They will say, Abhi, now my Rahu Dasha is going on, my Ketu Dasha is going on, my Shani Dasha is going on. They will say that. That people used to be very much aware of all this, but they used to have. So about children also they will inquire and they say that, oh, these are the Rahu Dasha. Some Dasha will be always going on. Everybody of us will have some Dasha going on. And so people will be worried about this. And about the child, Jatasya Shishu Stanyam Ched na pibati tada Ashru Vrishti eva dampatyo bhavati. He said, if the child doesn't drink milk of the mother, then Ashru Vrishtihi, there will be the rain of tears from the parents. Means they will keep crying, what is happening to my child? How come my child is not taking milk from mother? ईदृक् चिन्तया सह एव कतिपयमासेषु गतेषु दन्तोत्पत्तिदशायां केषाञ्चित् शिशूनां बालारिष्टवशात् मरणं श्रुत्वा मातृपितृभ्यां व्यसनम् अनुभूयते. इसे ईदृक् चिन्तया एव सह कतिपयमासेषु गतेषु. With these worries, such worries alone, some months have passed by. Then dantotpatti dashayam, during the state of this teething, so when new teeth are coming, that time keshanchit shishunam balarishtivashat bharanam shrutva, their child is okay, but they hear that our neighbor's child, when the new teeth were coming and then something happened and he died. So during this shishunam balarishta means infant mortality, or this ill luck of the child is called balarishta. Arishta means ill luck, misfortune. In fact, balarishta is a yoga in astrology. Balarishta yoga, and then madhyarishta yoga, then yogarishta. So all these are yogas. That if balarishta yoga is there, the child will die within the age of 8. Madhyarishta yoga is in 22. And yogarishta is there, then 32. Like that, yogas are there. So balarishta yoga, because of that, maranam shrutva, having heard that somebody's child died when their teeth were just coming, then matru pitrubhyam vyasanam anubhuyate, having only heard their child is not died, that child is okay, but having heard that somebody's child who is of similar age died, then vyasanam, plight, so much pain is experienced by the parents by just hearing the news of some child's death. Because our child, aspat putraha marana yogyaha putratvat. So that type of thinking will come, and my child also is subject to die because it is a child like the neighbor's child. So like that anumanam will happen in the mind, and therefore our vyasana manubhuyate. And somehow it is that human mind. We always think the possibility of something going wrong with our near and dear ones. Anishta Shanka with related to our near and dear one. So many people are traveling on the road. But he said, today my son has come late. What has happened? Maybe some accident. So that possibility of accident comes very fast. Suppose some guest is to come and he is late, we don't think of that he might have met with an accident. That thought possibly doesn't come so easily. But with the near and dear one, that possibility immediately comes because of attachment. So similarly here, vyasanam anubhuyate. Then vyadhyadina krishi bhute shishau chatushpateshu pida nivrityartham baliharanam kurvanti. When child has become a little bit weaker because of some disease, then chatushpateshu, on the square, on the crossroad, on the road where 4 roads are crossing is called chatushpatha. On that signal point. What? A signal point is a modern language. Is as 4, chatushpatha means a choke in Hindi they say. So that the place where 4 roads are crossing each other, in that place, pida nivrityartham baliharanam kurvanti. This is a conventional thinking. So they will offer some naivedyam on that crossroad, on the crossing point of the 4 roads, for removing this affliction of the child. Then what? Tat Sokhyartham Chandalo va Pulkaso va Antyajo va Mlecho va Atyantapashadaha va Bhavatu Yaha Kaschana Mantrikaha Vishagva Tena Mantrayanti Vishajyanti cha. So he says that when child is not well, then there are some mantrik, means those who can do some black magic or anything, or those who can remove the black magic. So mantrika, one who is doing mantras and removing the problems, or bishop, some doctor, the regular doctor or otherwise doctor. That what they call other doctor, there is some name in English. No, that the one who is not real doctor, but he still treats people. Huh? Quack. Huh? Ah, yes. Quack, no? Ah, yes. So that is called here bishop. So any doctor, real or otherwise, tena mantrayanti. With the help of them, he mantrayanti means he will do the mantra patha. You do mantra, this mantra, that mantra, and vishajyanti, and gets treatment. And that person, even though he is not at all of any good position in the society, or he doesn't have any good background, he has got so many vices, but my child, this fellow will do something good to me. So he doesn't mind whatever be the character of the person, whatever be the behavior of the person. With that person also, mantrayanti vishayanti cha. Tadartham adhiraha bhutva mlechadhyaradita devataha api pranamanti. He said, for the sake of the children, being very impatient, the devatas which are worshipped by others, that also they will worship. He said, don't mind. Chaltika nam gadi. Whatever works, I want to go and help. Asambhashyena saha putravatsyalyena sneham kurvanti. The people who should not be spoken with because of their behavior background, with them also they will have so much affection because of the love, their affection for children. Bhairavadi aneka devotodeshena swaprarthana siddhyartham smashana bhumau balim nikshipanti. For pleasing some devatas, tamasic devatas also, they will go to cremation ground and offer some bali, some offering, they offer animal, etc. Different balis are there. Swasya gruhe devata api स्वस्य गृहे देवताः अपि देवलकेन ढक्कां नादयित्वा सांजलि putam पूजयन्ति. So by the priest, he will make this puja done in the house, and this person will be playing the dhakka. Dhakka means the drum, small drum, and he will invoke the devatas, and then he will be worshipping with the folded hands. All these things, doing puja, etc. is good. But the mind behind that is being criticized. Shudra Raksha Bandhana Yantra Gutikadin Shishoho Kanthe Dharayanti. In India, you will see the child will have something tied around the neck. Some yantra, some locket will be there. And sometimes they put even the what is called shoe, that what is called the horse shoe, no? That the U shape, that also they put it. So whatever, some people say, oh, this works, they will put it. So this called Shudra Raksha Bandhanam. Some in one particular locket, some paper will be there. Some mantra. They will write mantra in the paper, and that paper they put it in that locket. And that they will put it with a black thread. That's how. So all they do, Shisho Kante Dharayanti. परमेश्वरात् नारायणयद्वा परं देवं स्वप्ने अपि अस्मरन्तः अपि पुत्राद्यर्थे कुलटा स्त्री व तत्र नाना देवताः भजन्ते. He said, this fellow swapne api asmarantah, in dream also he was not remembering this Narayana Parameshwarat. Narayana Paramdeve swapne api Narayanadva Paramdevam swapne api asmaranta. He was not considering, little different. He was not considering any devata to be higher than this Narayana Parameshwara. But now, Putradhyartham, for the sake of the child, Kullata Striva, the woman who is not loyal to anyone, that how Nana na Devata Bhajante. He worships all types of Devatas. Otherwise, he was telling that my Narayana alone is the highest. No Devata is higher than Narayana. That was his thinking. But now he is ready to worship any Devata in any manner. And Masurikadi Darshane, Mata Pitradaya Sarve Vruthaha, Manah Kleshayanta Mangalasthanaadikam Varjayanti. This is another conventional thinking. The smallpox children get. It's called Masurika. That's an interesting name. Masurika means smallpox. And when they are seen, then they are very much afflicted because they can create sometimes blindness and all if they are too much. And they say that during that time the child should not be given bath. So he said that bath etc. also they will stop. Mangala Sthanadikam Varjayanti. And Masurika Shantyartha, very interesting. Masurika means smallpox Shanti. For removing the Masurika, the smallpox, Tad Devata Vahana Bhutam Gardavam Aradhayanti Devata Buddhya. He said people will be ready to worship the donkey because the donkey is supposed to be the vehicle of the Devi, Shitala Devi. And Shitala is the goddess for the smallpox. Therefore, he said they will worship the donkey with the Devata Buddhi as God. Why? My child has got smallpox. Smallpox can be removed by the blessings of Devi. And Devi will be happy when Devi's vehicle will be placed. Therefore, the Devi's vehicle, donkey, also they will worship. So they are just showing that what all people, how much slavery, how much timidity person gets because of the attachment to the son. इत्थं महता प्रयासेन शिशु संरक्षणं कुर्वन्तः महता पितरौ शिशोः यौवनपर्यन्तं दुरन्तां चिन्तां वहतः. In this manner, mahata prayasena, by great difficulty, शिशु संरक्षणं कुर्वन्तौ पितरौ, mata पितरौ, father and mother who are doing the protection of the child with great efforts, शिशोः यौवनपर्यन्तं, till the youth of the child, Durantam Chintam, endless worries, Vahataha, they entertain. Sheshave Atyantam Krida Saktan Balan Tataha Pratidivartya Vidyayam Pravartane Pratidinam Mahadukkam Jayate Pitro. Another problem. See, this author must have undergone this problem. Otherwise, they cannot think of all these issues. He says, the problem of these parents, what? The child doesn't like to study. Child likes to play, and to disengage the child from this playing and engage the child into study is a great job for the for the parents, because child somehow he will find out the way to get out. So when the child is playing, and mom said, okay, you come now, it is time to study. So what he will do, he say, okay, I am going for study, and then he will open the window and from there he will be engaged in playing only. Or whenever something is, Amma, I have a stomach ache, so I can't study. So he was playing no stomach ache, but when his mother brings it, that's what he said here. Sheshave Atyantam Krida Saktan Balan. The children who are highly attached to this playing in that childhood. Pratinivartya, Tataha Pratinivartya, having disengaged them from the playing. Vidyayam pravartane, and engaging them in study. Pratidinam, every day. Mahadukkam jayate pitro. Great suffering is born for the parents. Then mother will say, when your father comes, I will tell, and father will little bit beat him, and after all, he feels very bad. All these things will happen. Pitro dukkam jayate. Then, all right. Pathshalayam kalantare balantare hi kalaya कलायमानाः स्वयं अन्यान् ताडयन्तः अन्ये हि ताड्यमानाः च पुत्राः पित्रादेः दुःखहेतवः भवन्ति. So he has not left anything almost. He didn't know the modern issues. I will add some modern issues which are not written here. Okay, what is that? Pathshalayam, in the school. Balantarehi kalahayamana. The children who are fighting with the other children, my son is fighting with other children. Swayam Anyan Tadayantaha. My son is very very strong fellow. He is killing, not killing, beating. Killing is also not possible. Nowadays it is possible that the fellow goes with gun. In the US, he is a 13, 14, 15 years, he goes with gun. So killing also by nowadays is true. So Swayam Anyan Tadayantaha, and beating all others. Then what will happen? The parents of those children will come and see your son is every day doing like this. And these parents will have fight. Children, they somehow manage afterward, the next day they are playing with each other. But parents will be having big fight. So that also, what? Pitradehe dukkha etava bhavanti. Children become the cause for the suffering to the parents. When? When the son is beating the other child. Now, suppose other situation. Anyahi tadyamana. Tadyamana cha putraha. See, my son is very good. My children are very good. But every day my sons are beaten by others. So then I feel very bad. Then I would like to go and fight with those parents. But those parents are very powerful fellows. What? My son will be like this. You take care of your son. There should be. So I cannot do anything to them. And my children every day comes and Papa, see that fellow, he beat me. And I cannot do anything. And he keeps on telling, Appa, you go and tell him. Appa cannot do anything. So that type of pitra dehe, it's a very painful situation. That everyday child complains of being beaten by others, and parents sometimes are not able to do anything. And okay, then another problem. Prachina samskara vashat vidya grahana patave sati api pravachana patuta bhave pravachana patutayam api putranam dyutadi vyapara saktau asahyam dukkham pitroho. So he says, Prachina samskara vashat, because of the old background, means Purvajanma background, Vidya Grahana Apatava. There is no skill or there is no ability of receiving the teaching given by the teachers in the school. However much teachers teach, the student, this fellow is not able to understand. Still ABCD is problem. A, B, D, he will say. So, he forgets. So, Vidya Grahana Patave, then parents feel very bad. Sometimes it happens that father and mother, both of them are great scholars. Child is really dumb fellow. That is a very big problem. People say, your son, you will say. So this is one problem. Vidya Grahana Apatava means not having the skill of receiving the teaching of the teachers, one problem. Grahana Patave Sati Api Pravachana Patuta Bhave. So my son is able to receive, but when teacher asks, he is not able to represent. Many parents, they say, Swamiji, my son is very bright, but he doesn't study. That is another problem. Because parents don't want to, put their son down. My son is very bright, Swami, but doesn't study. Sometimes he studies, Swamiji, he understands everything. But if he is asked, no, he is not telling. So that also problem, because parents will, parents teachers meet. This is another thing. Nowadays, earlier it was not so much. Formal meetings were not there. Every day they will meet. Parents and teacher will meet. But formally, that parents teachers meet is there. And in that, teacher will say that your son, whenever we ask any question, he is not able to reproduce. Dukkham. So that is the dukkham. That pravachana patuta abhave. Pravachana patutayam api. Suppose my son is very good. He is receiving vidya very well, reproducing very well. But there is some problem. What is the problem? Yutadi vyapara saktau. Nowadays, drug problem, gambling. Dyuta means gambling. Every day my son takes some money from house, or whatever pocket money given, he is using for gambling. Or whatever chain he has been given, mother is very fond of her son, so she gives a chain to wear, ring to wear, and he sells it. So dyutadi vyapara sakto asahyam dukkham pitroho. And other people, neighbors will tell, your son, I saw he was there in that bar. He was there in that gambling place. Dukkham. Tatra Yovanati Kramad Arvageva Putranam Vivaha Sampati Vishaya Chinta. So before the son crosses the marriageable age, Yovana Atikramat, before crossing the youth, means before child becomes 35, 40, Putranam Vivaha Sampatti Vishaya Chinta, the these worries about getting the son married nowadays are very big worries. These children not getting married, son is not getting married, also I am hearing, daughter also not getting married. And both of them are working, they have enjoyed their freedom and they have got so much specific choice. I want this boy should be like this daughter girl should be like this, and this is not happening. So parents are so much worried about this vivaha of putras and putri also. Kula Shiladi Sampanna Madhuprapta Vishayini Mahati Chinta, that I should get the daughter-in-law who is very Kula Shila, who is from good family, having good character. That type of girl I should get. Two worries are there. My son should get married, one worry. And my son should get married to a good girl, another worry. First is a Samanya Chinta. My son should get married. He should not become, beyond 30, beyond 35. So that worries. Second is, you should marry a good girl. That two worries are there. And nowadays, another worries which is not there, not mentioned here is, my son or daughter should not marry to the person of other community. We are Hindus and he marries to some Christian girl or Muslim girl. Oh, that worries. The Christian parents also will have such worries. So that our child should marry in our fold. That worries. These are modern worries. In those days, it was not there. Because in those days, generally, these parents used to fix the marriage. That parents have worries. Nowadays, parents will say, you choose your. His child will say, Amma, you don't bother about me. I have my own ways of selecting. I have already registered. We are already on Facebook and everything. So they have got their own ways. But in those days, but nowadays also, still I am hearing parents are so much worried, doing puja and doing homa and all this still happening. Worries. Okay. So when we hear this sannyasi, we hear this, we feel little happiness. We don't have this worries. That some vicarious pleasure happens. So putradi vivahartham dhanadhyarja, not should not happen, but happens little bit happens. Because see, grahasthas don't have to suffer the problems which sannyasis have. So they will be having happiness. See, sannyasi has to go for bhiksha. Sannyasi, if he is falling sick, then nobody is there to do seva. Whereas we have somebody. So they will have this type of thing comparison. We don't generally compare, but when we hear such a description, my God, such a thing, it is not there for us. Putradi vivhartham dhanadyarjane mahan klesha. For getting wealth, for doing the marriage of the son, daughter, mahan klesha, great pain. In India nowadays is reduced. In those days, to get son or daughter married is a very huge thing. Lot of money is required, lot of planning is required, because you have to take care of so many factors. In marriage, you have to give the gifts to these the relatives of the spouse side. So the husbands, the mother should be given, father should be given, his brother should be given. And in marriage, you will forget at least one person, and that fellow will make your life miserable. You did not invite me, or you did not give me this. Mahan Klesha, Dhanadi Arjane, Mahan Klesha. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.